They approached, laid me on the ground, tied my hands, and said, "That's it, you're captured."
We now have the footage confirming the Ukrainian strike on the vehicle of Russian General Isidora Abachev. The attack took place on August 16th at around 21:30 on the Rilsk-Komatovka highway, when a UAREG drone hit his convoy. Abachev was severely wounded in the blast and later transported to Moscow, where doctors were forced to amputate both his arm and leg. We had previously reported on this incident, but the release of the video provides undeniable visual evidence of the strike. This case adds to the long list of Russian generals either killed or critically injured during the war, highlighting once again how Ukraine's precision strikes are systematically undermining Russia's military leadership and command effectiveness. The footage also underscores Ukraine's growing ability to strike deep with accuracy, catching even senior commanders off guard. Each confirmed hit not only weakens Russian battlefield coordination, but also delivers a powerful psychological blow to Moscow's officer corps, who now know they are within reach far from the front lines. This is why giving away Donbass cannot be an option for Ukraine. Donald Trump will ask Zelensky to give away Donbass in exchange for a ceasefire with Russia. It would mean giving 9 cities and the main fortifications to Russia without a fight. Giving away Donbass may seem to be the solution to calm Putin and reach a ceasefire, or even the peace between Ukraine and Russia. However, this cannot be accepted by any government of Ukraine for few simple reasons. Here, we are mainly talking about the non-occupied part of Donetsk Oblast, since the northern part of Luhansk Oblast is mainly rural and has been occupied without big fights since spring 2022. This is what Russia took in 30 months, after the last Ukrainian counteroffensive. This is 5,100 square kilometers in 30 months. It means there is still 6,500 square kilometers to be taken. Also, in the 5,100 square kilometers, we count those cities Bakhmut, biggest Russian gain in 3 years, 80,000 population, Avdiivka 35,000, Toretsk 35,000, Selidov 24,000, Korakov 20,000. So in 3 years of fight, with the main battles being waged in Donetsk Oblast, Russia only took one big city, 80,000 inhabitants, and smaller towns, all located in the periphery of Donetsk. They still have to fight for the big cities of Ukrainian-controlled Donbass. In the 6,500 square kilometers to be taken, we count Kramatorsk 160,000, Sloviansk 120,000, Kostiantynivka 75,000, Pokrovsk 65,000, Drozhkivka 60,000, Mirnohrad 50,000, Dobropila 30,000, Lyman 22,000, Siversk 12,000. In the lone Sloviansk Kostiantynivka Valley, 415,000 people. Who would be crazy enough to give away without a fight a total worth of more than 600,000 population cities, while Russia only took 250,000 population cities in 3 years of war? This, without forgetting the area has industrial and mining potential, even if partly destroyed by 11 years of war. With that stated, there is also the price for Russia. Russia is pushing constantly in the region, mainly with infantry, since Ukraine built large anti-vehicle oblasticles and is massively using drones. This has an enormous human price for Russia. That is the reason why Putin is not willing to fight for Pokrovsk, for Kramatorsk, or Sloviansk. He would lose too much men, the operation will take far more time, and his economy will continue to suffer. He is seeking an easy victory with Trump. Also, Ukraine built massive fortifications in Donetsk Oblast. This region is easily defendable. There are massive cities, industrial complexes, mines, and undergrounds. Every time there is a field or a tree line, Ukrainian fortifications are standing. In this particular region, a big part of Ukraine's new Donbass line is standing. It goes from the southern part of the non-occupied part of the oblast to Izium, Kharkiv, and now even Sumy. Here is a map of what would happen with this region in the hands of Russia. No more big fortifications. An open terrain for further offensive actions in central Ukraine to push to Dnipro, Poltava, Zaporizhia, or Kharkiv oblasts. If the region is handed over to Putin without a fight, It would place Russian forces 10 kilometers to Izium, 26 to Lazova, and 55 kilometers to Pavlorad. Those are the only cities west of Donbass, before Dnipro, 120 kilometers, and Poltava, 175 km. Ukrainian soldiers are not willing to give away Donbass, their region, the region they have been fighting for during 11 years, the one where they lost comrades. Putin will not give anything in return. No Kherson, no Zaporizhia, no Kharkiv. So they have no interest in it. But the Ukrainian commanders and soldiers are not worried about Putin's failures. They are kicking Russian butts on the ground. The 425th Skala Regiment carried out a successful offensive operation on the administrative border of the Dnipropetrovsk and Donetsk regions. Russian prisoners are telling the story.
They sent 8 of us. It's like I'm for reinforcement.
15 people went out. It was a group. Some had 200, some 300, some hid behind 500.
You walk 2 meters like this. Bang! That's it. Gotten. You're the one working ahead, right before your eyes.
They approached, laid me on the ground, tied my hands, and said, "That's it, you're captured."
I didn't resist at all. Why resist? Just stay alive for now.
Perhaps from this piece we can conclude that Russia is not to be trusted.
Under George W. Bush, Russia invaded Georgia. Under Barack Obama, Russia took Crimea. Under Joe Biden, Russia invaded Ukraine. But under President Trump, Russia did not invade nor take anything.
Trump stated that Putin and Zelensky get along with each other better than he thought, and therefore they will first hold one-on-one talks and only afterward with him.
Well, I think the fact that maybe they're getting along a little bit better than I thought. Otherwise, I wouldn't have set up the 2 meeting. I would have set up the 3, a trilat. But I think they're doing a little bit better. There's been tremendous bad blood. And again, this was all worked out by an administration that didn't have a clue. And if you remember, they said, well, if you made a minor incursion, that would be okay. That was the end. The whole thing when Biden made that statement. But minor incursion, what does that mean? So I think they're doing okay. I wouldn't say they are ever going to be best friends, but they're doing okay. And we're just going to see. So we're setting up a meeting. I sort of set it up with Putin and Zelensky. And, you know, they're the ones that have to call the shots. We're 7,000 miles away, in all fairness. You know, we've spent through the previous administration $350 billion. Europe has spent a lot also, $100 billion, but it should be reversed if we should have been in for anything. But it wouldn't have happened, so that would have been much better because so many people died. This is the biggest bad situation since World War II. There's been nothing even close.
Russian propagandists produced a film about the assault on Mariupol, in which they effectively documented war crimes committed by Russian soldiers. Journalist Denis Kazansky drew attention to this. The film, titled At the Edge of the Abyss, shows deliberate attacks on civilians. In particular, one scene shows Russian soldiers firing on a civilian vehicle carrying elderly Ukrainians and children. I've long said that no anti-Russian propaganda is needed. No one can produce such Russophobia as the Russians themselves, Kazansky commented. On April 20th, it was reported that the Russian Uralvagonzavod had sent what was likely the only T-72B3M tank equipped with the Arena M active protection system to take part in the filming of a propaganda movie. This very tank, with its improvised grille armor removed, was used in the filming taking place in temporarily occupied Mariupol.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.